Welcome back to Kevin Talks Padres. With the All Star Break just a couple weeks away, that means we are officially at the midpoint of the season. So I wanted to take a few minutes to review the individual players of the Padres, as well as the Padres departments, as well as the staff as a whole, and the state of the MLB. This is going to be kind of a long one, so save it in your watch later if you can't watch it all right now. Let's get right into it. What do the 2022 Padres and the 2007 Padres have in common? They both have quality pitching. For the most part, our starters have been on their game. The Padres have the most quality starts out of any team in the MLB, and that should come as no surprise. Darvish, Clevenger, Manaea, Musgrove, Gore, they've all been lights out on the mound this year. Blake Snell is one of my favorite pitchers around the league, but unfortunately, luck hasn't been on his side this season. He says he's working on getting his changeup back to 100%. I believe Ruben Niebla will be able to help him with that, and when it comes back, it will be a big difference maker. I'm looking forward to it. Watching Padres pitchers strike guys out is a thing of beauty. It is an art form. Snell is going to bounce back 1,000,000%. I guarantee it. Just sit tight. That brings me to the bullpen. Nick Martinez has been great out of the bullpen. He's been so good, he's been making a push to be a Padres starting pitcher. But with already 6 Cy Young-worthy guys out on the mound for the Padres, it's a hard thing to do. But Martinez has been great out of the bullpen, and so has Taylor Rogers. He's been lights out as a closer. It is so nice to have a dominant closer in the Padres bullpen. Will Myers was just not cutting it as our closer. He's better in the outfield, or first base. But Taylor Rogers has been a relief, for lack of a better word. Plus, he's way better than the right-handed Tyler Rogers, who plays for a team I shall not speak of. Adrian Morejon is looking pretty great out of the bullpen too, but that's out of a smaller sample size. If the Padres could get another great reliever, that would be great. And if the Padres could get 2 more great relievers, forget about it. The NL West is ours. Especially if we can manage to pick up Juan Soto. Ooh-wee! Oh man, the Padres are going to be unstoppable. Anyway, back to reality. We started the season with 3 starter-worthy catchers, 4 if you include Campisano. Now we're down to a much more manageable 2 starting catchers. Jorge Alfaro has been lighting it up this year. He is a beast. He has been smashing baseballs and coming up with great hits. He's been looking like spring training Alfaro, just annihilating baseballs. Austin Nola has been solid at the plate as well. Both catchers are great behind the dish, and Nola took the time to learn how to be Yu Darvish's personal catcher, so that's some points right there. Now it's time to talk about our guy, Eric Hosmer. Love him or hate him, Eric Hosmer is our guy. He's been our guy a long time, and he ain't going anywhere. But I am very glad to report that he has been stretching for baseballs this season. He's been reaching out to catch balls instead of going into the foul side. Props, Eric Hosmer. I'm so proud of you. He's actually been pretty solid at first base this year, for the most part. On top of that, all season long, he's been one of the best hitters around the league, only in competition with none other than Manny Machado. Moving on to our other first baseman slash DH, Luke Voit. Now, Luke was off to a horribly slow start to begin the season. It looked like he was just swinging for the fences every single time and missing, striking out every single time. It was not going good, but once he found out that, yes, I can actually just hit singles and be all right, it started to turn around for my boy Luke Voit. For a while there, he was the strikeout king of the club. But in his defense, he's switching from American League to National League, and on top of that, trying to have a bounce-back season after being injured for a long time. Plus, now he's actually hitting home runs, and he's not only hitting home runs, he's actually hitting for average as well. He's hitting singles. I love to see it. In fact, Luke Voit has been cooking up so many home runs, I do declare that he may be officially back and ready to mash potatoes. Ready to be an absolute DH monster. And even though he's a DH, let's not forget that he can play first base well. And speaking of Padres first baseman, let's not forget Padres All-Star first baseman Jake Cronenworth. The Crone Zone, TM Don Orsillo. The Crone Zone is not going anywhere, and it's simultaneously everywhere. Crone is phenomenal defensively, and he's above average offensively. Even though Jake Cronenworth is one of the more hyped up Padres, he's honestly still one of the most underrated. The kid can play 3 positions at a plus level, and he can lead the offense on top of that. Jake Cronenworth is an absolute steal for the Padres, and it should come as no surprise that he's having a phenomenal season once again. Moving on to Ha-Sung Kim, what a great utility guy. He's a real Jeff Blum type, if you will, except maybe better. He's an A+ second baseman, shortstop, and third baseman. He's amazing defensively. He plays the field extremely well, and he's been doing pretty good at the plate as well. Don't sleep on the fact that he hit 30 home runs in Korea just a couple years ago. He's getting better and adjusting more to the MLB every single day, which is why I'm glad he's getting a lot of playing time this season. He's mainly filling for the injured superstar Tatis, but you know what? Kim is kind of his own superstar in his own right. Plus, he doesn't only fill in for Tatis, he fills in for Crone, he fills in for Machado, giving guys days off or days as the DH as needed. If that's not a team player, I don't know what is. Even though Manny Machado can DH, I prefer him as a third baseman. Yeah, Manny's a good DH. But any day Manny Machado is not manning third base, we are losing defensive prowess. Because Manny is an all-star Gold Glove type third baseman. He makes defensive plays that your third baseman could never. And he does it while blowing a freaking bubble. He deserves way more Gold Gloves than what he's gotten so far. In fact, he deserves a Platinum Glove. On top of deserving a Platinum Glove, you know what else Manny Machado deserves? A C right here on his chest that says, Captain of the San Diego Padres. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Manny Machado is the captain of the San Diego Padres, whether you put a C on his chest or not. This year, Machado's been hot at the plate. That should come as no surprise. Him and Hosmer have been carrying the team all season long. Manny Machado was a Hall of Fame type player, so if you ask me, it comes as no surprise that he's killing it once again. Of course, Manny Machado deserves to be the captain of the San Diego Padres. He is a superstar, only outshadowed by one man, Fernando Tatis Jr. Let me tell you, Nando has been crushing it on the bench this year. No, but really, Fernando's been hurt since day one of spring training, and I am anxiously awaiting for him to come back because the Padres, once he comes back, are going to go from 500 to like 800. For real. He's a stud. He hit like 40 home runs last year, and he's the coolest guy in the MLB. He's somewhat of just a pop culture icon. What's not to love? I can't wait for him to come back. Despite how good Nando is, the Padres are good without him. They have been holding their spot at the top of the NL West without his support. A lot of this is thanks to manager Bob Melvin. And when Nando comes back, we are going to blow the roof off the NL West. We are going to see baseball like we've maybe never seen baseball before. Fernando is no doubt another guy that's just an absolute legend in this game. Speaking of legends, Robinson Cano was a San Diego Padre for a little bit this season. Then he got DFA'd. Then he got brought back with the AAA El Paso Chihuahuas. Robbie Cano no doubt had some influence over the guys in the Padres clubhouse, and now he's going to be influencing the AAA guys as well. That's a win for the Padres. And either way you put it, the Cano deal just makes way more sense than the Adam Frazier deal last year. Moving on to the outfield, our outfield has been underperforming. This is where a Juan Soto deal would really come into play. I hate to say it, but Myers and Grisham have been underperforming this year at the plate. Don't get me wrong, they're both still excellent defenders. We just gotta heat those bats up. Put them in the microwave or something. And last but not least, Jerks and Profar. Profar's been good this season. Profar's been doing good as the Padres starting left fielder, and he's been doing good at the top of the lineup as well. I don't need to tell you that he's the league leader in outfielder assists. I've always known he was a great left fielder, and first baseman, and second baseman for that matter, but left field is now his thing, and he can have it. I already told you, Profar for MVP. Profar was one of my favorite Padres going into this season, so I'm glad we got to see him be the starting left fielder. As for our coaching staff, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I know we have the most stellar coaching staff in the league, but it's kind of hard to say what they've actually done, because I unfortunately don't get to hear the conversations that the coaches get to have with the players. So it's kind of hard to understand their influence on the players. But I know Bomel's been doing a great job. Obviously. He's been doing a wonderful job keeping the team afloat in the absence of the face of the MLB. And he's been keeping the team level-headed all season long, nice and cool, calm, and collected. Just what we need for the San Diego Padres, because baseball is a mental game. And even when Bob Melvin was out, bench coach Ryan Christensen did a great job managing the team in his absence and kind of channeling Bob Melvin as well. Ruben Niebla, the pitching whisperer, has been working his magic with the Padres staff all year long, and I firmly believe that he will bring back Blake Snell. Maybe even better than ever. As for Michael Berdar, it's hard to say because our averages have not been doing good overall, but I think that may have something to do with the baseballs that the MLB is providing major league teams I'm not going to get into that. It's a whole thing. But one thing I can say for Michael Berdar, I believe Michael Berdar might be single-handedly responsible for fixing Eric Hosmer's swing. He may be the guy responsible for Hosmer fixing his swing, so instead of hitting ground balls all the time, he's hitting line drives. And that is huge. I don't know for sure if he's responsible for that, but if he is, I say thank you. The MLB has expanded playoffs this year, so I would expect the Padres to make it in the playoffs 100%. I'm honestly pretty much guaranteeing 99.999999999% that the Padres are going to make the expanded playoffs. I would love to be able to guarantee that they could win the NL West, but it's the Wild West out here, and you never know what's going to happen. This is the toughest division in all of baseball. But the Padres are still one of the best teams in the MLB, and they're only getting better. I really hope we play through October and into November, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's still the middle of the season. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment down below. This has been Kevin Talks Padres.